Okay, guys, so this is another model argumentative essay that we need to review today. Kindly note that your English exam is going to take place next week. I'm going to give you only 2 reading comprehension units plus the skills, 1 vocab unit, unit 6, the one we finished yesterday, so it's still fresh, okay? And the writing will only be the argumentative type of writing, only, okay? So the topic at hand is the medical, economical, and social effects of funding or paying for health research. Let me exactly explain to you what we'll be talking about. Governments have, usually, they spend the highest budgets on 2 things. Of course, not in Lebanon. I'm talking about governments worldwide. They spend big budgets on health research to understand new viruses that are emerging, inventing new medicines and new vaccines and new medical technologies. And at the same time, they spend big budgets on space exploration. They want to explore new planets, new galaxies, and so on. Those 2 types of programs take the highest budgets from governments. So today, our essay will be talking about whether, in our opinion, governments should be spending more on health research or on space exploration. Let's see. Health is a priceless resource that should be cherished and invested in. However, most of the nations in the world are spending more money on space research than on health issues. Although space research increases the human's knowledge about your space, funding means paying for, tamwil, exactly. Funding health research improves the health. Look at the points that the essay will later be elaborating on. There are 3 things. Yeah.
Funding health research.
Funding health research improves the health, number 1. Number 2, boosts the economy. And number 3, enhances or improves the social relationships. So based on this purple thesis statement, does the author seem to be with spending more money on health or on space? Health. And he's giving us the 3 main benefits behind this. Let's see now how he or she is going to develop these ideas. Based on the thesis statement, funding health research improves the health. So body paragraph 1 is going to be about improving the health. Let's see. Financing health research is medically beneficial. Such research is certainly effective in the medical realm. Realm means field, since it offers humans tremendous services in finding the necessary cure for many of the widespread fatal diseases. So, of course, if you spend much money on health research, you'll be discovering more treatments for fatal or deadly diseases. For instance, see, after I give my reason, I need to give an example. For instance, the statistics showed that cancer is the 2nd cause of death in the US. And the toll of death due to this disease is 1,600 people per day. It means in the USA, every single day, 1,600 people die due to cancer. So don't you think it's a priority to pay for the research to find a cure for cancer? Definitely. Besides, for over a century, the National Institutes of Health Scientists have paved the way for important discoveries, such as developing MRI, which is a medical imaging technology, understanding how viruses can cause cancer, providing insights into cholesterol control, and so on. So it's not only about cancer, Isa. It's also about any type of disease. The more money we spend on research, the higher our chances become to find a cure. Okay? Every now and then, a new disease appears. And this, and this requires new studies to find the cure. Like, remember when the COVID-19 virus emerged? Nobody expected a virus like this. Suddenly, all medical companies were rushing to find the vaccine, right? So thus funding health issues makes people live longer and healthier. So now we covered the first point, which is the health benefits of spending money on health research. The second benefit is that supporting health research is also beneficial economically. That's a little bit far-fetched maybe in our brains. Like if I ask you, how does medical research help us economically? Let's see how. In fact, health researches cost the financing countries less than space researches do. So it's money saving. For example, the Apollo program that sent humans to space cost American taxpayers $150 billion a year, while the various cancer researches cost the National Cancer Institute only $5 billion per year. So look at the discrepancy between spending $150 billion on space research a year and only $5 billion on health. This huge amount of money spent on space programs could have funded the worthwhile cancer researches. Besides, this money could have also been spent on researches to find cure for other fatal diseases such as AIDS, swine flu. What is swine flu? Swine means pig. Everything swine is pig, yes. And polio, shalal, paralysis. This will enable us to save the lives of millions of people and undoubtedly assist in boosting the planet's economy. So if we want to think economically, which one saves money more, health research or space research? Health. And also health is more beneficial because it helps us discover cures. Let's see the final point now, which is how funding health research helps us socially. Moreover, funding health research is efficient socially. Spending money on space research at the expense of finding cure for fatal diseases, يعني spending money on space research على حساب health research, will separate people in the same society instead of bringing them together. Because guys, let's think logically. When a person is in pain and he's sick, is he in the mood to socialize and to go to weddings and to attend dinners? And no. So when people are sick, this disintegrates or breaks down society because they will no longer have any social skills or they don't have the energy to socialize. How can this happen? People who are inflicted with fatal diseases and their families will neglect or ignore the social activities such as the social visits, sports activities, social gatherings, and going out to dinner with friends. Normal. Look at the anecdote I used here as an example. Last year, my 17-year-old friend Fadi was diagnosed cancerous. He was an active and smart teenager whose dream was to be a great doctor. But that atrocious disease prevented him from achieving his dreams. That disease made him helpless and hopeless. It isolated him from his society, especially when the symptoms of the disease started to aggravate. To aggravate means to worsen. After 10 months of suffering, my friend died. Death put an end to his intolerable suffering. So here we used an anecdote to support my opinion that it's more essential and it's more pressing to pay money on health. Okay? Please now open your eyes and ears, Farouk, Isa, Angelina, everyone. Now, the counter-argument and refutation. Let's see what do we mean by the counter-argument and the refutation. Guys, right now, I already made it clear that I, on the personal level, I'm totally with spending money on health rather than on space. But now it's time for me to show the reader that other people have a different opinion. Critics of this proposal believe that money should be spent on space research since it increases the human's knowledge. By learning about the world around them, people will understand the world they live in more. Besides, they will get information about their origin and about how life has begun on Earth. This is the counter argument, what other people believe in. Yes. Other people adopt the opposite opinion from your own. Definitely. مثلا, if I ask you, are you with or against wearing uniforms to schools? If you are with, then other people are definitely against. Yeah, sure. Okay, guys. Notice now, after I mentioned the counter argument, I need to refute it. Refutation. I need to explain why I disagree with it. I need to explain to the reader again why I reject it. Yet, obtaining this knowledge is at the expense of humans' health and lives. How can the millions who are suffering now from fatal diseases, deadly diseases, benefit from the knowledge about their planet or origin? Would you go to a person suffering from pain and cancer and tell him, well, we discovered water on Mars? Please, right? Doesn't make sense. This knowledge has led to many discoveries and products, but these discoveries are worthless when compared with the human's health and lives. Thus, bottom line, space exploration is obviously an unwanted business in the presence of the major health crises on the planet. Crisis is written with an IS in the end, but this one is pronounced as crises, plural, it ends with ES. Conclusion. I need to restate my opinion in the conclusion. Last but not least, all the funding countries should be cognizant, they should be aware, they should recognize the fact that spending money on health research is more beneficial and significant than spending it on health research. On space research, sorry. Our dear planet is facing detrimental, dangerous crises, so countries must get their heads out of the clouds. When I tell you, get your head out of the clouds, it means stay real. Be realistic, be logical. So countries must get their heads out of the... Okay, excuse me, I don't know. Please, guys, just let me... Guys, I just need to repeat, Tawada, everyone. The meeting stopped, so I just need to reread the conclusion only so that Ghazal stays with us. Ghazal conclusion, in the restatement, I need to repeat my opinion, but in other words. Last but not least, all the funding countries should be cognizant, they should be aware of the fact that spending money on health research is more beneficial and significant than spending it on space research. Our dear planet is facing detrimental crises, serious crises, so countries must get their heads out of the clouds. It means countries must stay realistic and help the people in need on Earth. That's it. Ghazal, please, in case you have any question, please type it in before I end the meeting. And again, I repeat, next week, we will send you a schedule. You have an English exam. You are responsible for 2 reading lessons only, all the skills, 1 vocab unit, which is unit 6, and in writing, you are only responsible for argumentative writing. I'm gonna post in vocab, unit 6. Ghazal, do you have any question? All right. Thank you so much.